Alright, welcome back to our interior visualization tutorial. So from the previous part I'm rendering the image and it's now at about 45 minutes of rendering. It looks pretty clean, and so in this part we will just finalize the scene, and the first stage of that will be just tweaking our post-processing, because Corona frame buffer is really powerful. So I just want to already set up my final look. So obviously there's a lot of burning going on the sofa. So let's increase the highlight compression to 2.5, filmic shadows. I usually like them at a quite high value, but not completely at 1, so like 0.8. Let's enable vignette, maybe like 0.5. Let's keep the contrast for now at what it is. Stop the rendering because it looks already fairly clean. And let's browse LUT files for some nice look we could take advantage of. You know, and actually this warm one looks good. So that's Futura to 100. Let's browse a few more. Vista 100 also looks nice. Let's actually keep this one. And I'm gonna increase the contrast even further to like 3. And when it comes to temperature, maybe 7000, so we have really nice warm interior. Let's enable bloom and glare. Bloom, let's start with 10. That's way too much. 5, 4, 3, 5, 4. 4 looks kind of nice, and let's do the glare. So let's try 2, 3, 2. Here's some glare. There's a bit too much of glare. I think value of 1 looks just fine. Do 10 rotation, 0.3 blur. There's a bit more glare on here, but maybe there's too much bloom. Actually, let's keep the glare at 0.5. Just some subtle highlight. If we turn it off, turn it on, you can see the subtle difference. No need to overdo it. Actually, in general, looks a bit too warm, so 6500 Kelvin neutral white is probably a better choice here. Okay, so I'm basically happy with this. So what we're gonna do now is just set up LightMixer, set up denoiser, and there's nothing else that prevents us from rendering our final scene. So to set up denoiser, easiest thing ever, just set the noise mode to full denoising. And when it comes to lights, let's just turn off bloom and glare, because I'm using Corona version that has a little bug that the bloom and glare stacks in an interactive preview, but the bug is already resolved in the new version of Corona. So one thing about denoiser, important thing to note, is that Corona renders adaptively. That means it doesn't render much of a stuff it doesn't see, or it can clean much of the stuff it cannot see. So when rendering lights for LightMixer or LightMix, a very important thing to keep in mind is that you should avoid using the realistic light intensities. Instead, you should set up all your lights to be in the intensity you will want them to see on the final image in one same exposure level. So for example, if you have daylight, sunny day, and sunny interior and turn on the light bulb, if you use realistic light intensity, light bulb will be almost invisible. At night, if you use night exposure, during day your image will be blown out. So if you want to get a clean multi-light or light mixer, I mean LightMix result, then you would have to fake it a bit and set up all the lights for the same exposure, which we will do right now. So let's just enable our interactive again and proceed with setting up lights. So I know I want one light here. So what I'm gonna do is, first of all, detach this. We want to optimize our scene, or at least I do want to optimize our scene. So I'm going to detach this. Then I'm going to assign this light bulb foggy material to it, but I'm gonna get Corona ray switch material, and I'm gonna fill all of these slots except the global illumination. Therefore it won't be affecting lighting, but it will still receive some light, and assign it. Let's call it light bulb foggy ray switch. Okay, now there's this interior. I want to detach it as well. And it had, I think, the aluminum, so I will assign aluminum to it, and again do ray switch. But this time I will use just black color, black diffuse material, completely black for the global illumination. And why is because, just let me plug this really quick and name this. The reason is that if we place light source really close to this lampshade, it's going to create a lot of noise. And this is kind of optimization technique where we don't change the appearance of our scene that much, but we will save a lot of render time. So once this is done, let's call it black holdout, we can just simply add Corona light to our scene. Let's do 3600 kelvins. Put it where the lamp is. Make it smaller, obviously, so radius like 2 centimeters. And get back to our view. You can see it's lit up a little bit, but again, as I said, if we want to have optimal results with multi-light, then let's increase intensity quite a bit. Maybe even higher, like 1000. Even higher, 2000. That's better. Okay, so now I am going to add 2 IES spotlights right here on the cooking hood, and to do that I'll create another Corona light, and change the type to disk. This is gonna be called a color, so let's say 5000, and plug in some IES profiles. So there's photometric folder somewhere in here. Let's show all files. Let's get number 11 let's quickly wait for the autosave to save. There we go. Okay, so again, go to top view and just put it where it belongs. The radius is too big, so again, like 2.5 centimeters. Let's put it here. Make an instance, which goes here. Let's go back, select both of these, and put them right around there, and just wait for our interactive to catch up. Now these won't be as strong, so I guess like value of 1000 could work. And for these pendant lamps, I'm just gonna copy it, not instanced. Turn off IES profile, but keep it disk. Increase the diameter to something that matches the light. Again, decrease the Kelvin temperature to have some different shade of color. And let's take a look how it looks here. So this is definitely too wide, so like 6 centimeters radius. And pull it up in there and instance it. And instance it once more. Awesome. So now we have lights set up. These could be, may need to be 2000, oh, like 1500. Let's just quickly name our lights. So light lamp, floor lamp actually. This is gonna be just sun. Light, cook, hood, IES, numbered. There we go. And then these lights will be lights, lamp, pendant, again numbered. There we go. So our scene is organized. Let's just save it. Open render settings. Go to render elements. There's a bunch of elements, old ones I don't need. And let's add Corona LightMix, which is the one we need by default for LightMix to work. Let's add Corona Light Select. One will be for the our environment, so let's call it Light Select Enviro. The next one will be Light Select Sun. Light Select Floor Lamp. Another one is gonna be a Light Select Cook Hood. And the last one is gonna be Light Select Pendant Lamps. There we go. So for environment, we will apply the noising and include environment light. For the sun, we will, oops, okay, this is what I didn't want to do. We will pick sun. For the floor lamp, we will pick light floor lamp. For the cook hood, okay, let's also make sure we apply denoising to all of the elements. There we go. And actually I'm gonna extend my window so it doesn't do that annoying thing. Cook hood, okay. So again, light, include these two. Apply denoising, and the last one will be light pendant. There we go, that's our setup. Let's just quickly decrease the resolution for a quick test. And let's just render and check if our LightMix works correctly. So here's our LightMix. Environment works, sun works, floor lamp works, cook hood does, lights pendant, and if we set all of them to 0, we get nothing unassigned. And yeah, that's it really. So cancel this. 1680 by 1120, and all we really have to do now is to hit render and actually stop it, because I wanted to set up depth of field as well. So just slide depth of field. What are we focusing on? Let's focus on the table in the back. So that means we offset the target distance over there. Add corner camera modifier. Let's do f2.8 for starters. Let's see how it looks. Go to our render settings. Make sure we enable depth of field. Let's do render and let's check out via render region how strong our depth of field is at the moment. Yep, that looks quite reasonable. Okay, so cancel. When I hit cancel, I don't trigger denoising. That is important to remember. And yeah, I guess now I can just hit render. Let's wait a second. And I'll pause it here. And I will again get back to once the render is cooked. And we will do a few variations with the LightMix. And I will also probably do conclusion in this one video. We already have more than enough parts to this tutorial, so I'm not gonna dice it up even further. So see you in a moment. Alright, so the scene is rendered. I've stopped it after about 1 hour, and it was almost 150 passes, and it reached about 3% noise level. So the denoising did go through, but as you can see, even after just 1 hour of rendering, it's so clean that the denoiser doesn't do much. Only maybe if I zoom in, you will see the difference. So let's go ahead and use 0.5 or 0.5 is a nice value for the denoiser. The scene overall is very clean. So let's go ahead and let's start playing with the LightMix and set up our variations. So first one we will be wanting to output is probably just the nice neutral daylight without any artificial lighting. So let's save this as daylight. Next one we could do is maybe some stormy weather with the floor lamp enabled. And you can see as I'm increasing the floor lamp, you can see only if I go very, very high, I start to see the noise. But in general, I guess we could always push the noiser to the limit. But generally, thanks to thinking in advance, you can see that if we use regular amount of the LightMix, we won't have any issues with noise. So let's actually enable bloom and glare for this one. We should have done it for the previous one as well, so let's quickly just do it. Bloom and glare, and save once more the version with bloom and glare. Alright, so now let's go back to this. That's a nice glare. And let's do just a little bit more stormy weather. Let's mix in a bit of green like this. It looks cloudy and we have enabled the lamp. So let's save this as stormy. Alright, now let's do evening one. So again, let's go to really blue. And let's go really dark, like 0.2 maybe. Yeah, I guess that's nice. And enable the pendant lamps. And you can again see we rendered a good range. We didn't render realistic exposure, but we rendered everything at a good range, so we have no noise problems anywhere. And I maybe want to make them just a bit cooler. Actually, these, just so they are slightly more neutral. Enable the cook hood as well, not nearly as strongly like this. And maybe actually increase the environment slightly. And let's maybe not make them so cool. Yeah, this is our evening version, so let's save it. Evening JPEG. Looks pretty nice. And one more we could do is perhaps, aside from complete night, which actually doesn't look that bad. You know what? We will use sunlight to create moonlight. Or some street light like this. Yeah, that's also nice. So let's call this night. And the last one we could do is reset all the colors, reset all the one. Did it reset? No, it didn't. Okay. So the last one we could do is maybe some sort of sunset. The problem is we can't really fake sunset because our light angle is quite high. But I guess we could sort of get at least some kind of moody environment. So for the sun, let's make it orangey. For the environment, let's make it warmer as well, and let's make it like red like this. So yeah, this is another kind of mood we could get, and maybe To add some contrast to it, we could enable the cook hood, but give it really cool blue lighting. Something like this. Okay, maybe save this as, I don't know, morning would be quite representative of this mood. And yeah, I think that this is it. Let's just quickly review them. So this is what we have. This is the sunny one. This is the evening one. You can already see right here how nice this subsurface scattering, we spent some extra time doing, how nice it looks on those chairs. That looks really like a soft plastic. Here even more we can see how nicely it works. So this is our stormy one, this is our night one, where we see the nice subsurface scattering. This lamp in the front with the reflection from the moonlight looks also really nice. This is the morning one, looks like nice warm morning. Evening one, again, everything looks really nice. So it's been a little over 3 hours. We have started with just unshaded simple scene with no lighting, no shading. And in these 3 hours, if we don't count render time, then in real time amount of work, 3 hours, it's what took us to arrive here to these really nice results. This kind of shows the power of Corona. Again, in the same manner as I mentioned in the automotive tutorial, you can see the power of Corona here, how we basically from start to finish focused only, or from the vast majority of the time we focused only on artistic side of the rendering. We haven't done any kind of technical tweaking except for maybe setting up the ray switcher, but that wasn't too technical as well. And we haven't really touched any render settings yet. It rendered really fast in about an hour, this nice large resolution image. So I hope you found this tutorial useful, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.